Well, it's always important to have that camaraderie, having people coming back for, number one, keep the offense going, but as you bring the new guys in, someone to give an example of what it's supposed to be for the new guys. So we got some talented guys returning now. When you're talking about Dom, you're talking about Mesa, you got the leader receiving the nation as far as catches coming back. Went from 52 to, going to 104, right? So, and I've had guys catch balls like that before, but usually when they catch them, they have that type of productivity. They're going to the NFL. So it's truly a blessing to have Mesa back, to have Dom back after 40 catches, and to see the development of Dom from last spring when we had the talk and to where he was during the fall and where he is now. Like, he's a vet out there. Like, he's leading out there. Mesa's doing a great job, leading by example. So we're excited.
And how are the newcomers doing this spring, and what were some of the traits and intangibles you were looking for when you brought these guys in?
So, Chris and I talk about it all the time. We get with the head coach, like we want to try to set that room up like a basketball, right? Like a basketball team. You want your center, you want your power forward, you want your point guard, you want your scorer and stuff. And they come in all shapes and sizes and lengths and stuff like that. So we was able to, you lose a guy like Platt, who was your outside right guy, and he ended up with 48 catches, 720 yards. Well, you replace him with a guy who's a veteran in the system coming from Texas Tech, who is a little bigger, maybe just as fast, if not faster, and he's been in the system for 3 years, and the sky's the ceiling with him. He had a relationship with Kit before being at Tech, and I got a chance when he watched film on him, he knows the system, so it's like, whoa, this guy is going to be special, right? And then you bring in, after that, you got B. Hope, who's coming back, who played as a freshman, had 12, 13 catches or something like that. Now, he becomes a vet, right? So he's now, we just talked about it, he's now where Dom was last year. The kind of the young guys trying to make those catches, trying to make things that Dom evolved in. We're expecting for him to evolve as well to be in that position. So he's playing that position that Dom was in last year. And then you bring in the JC kid, who's very explosive, Woody, really, really explosive. I got a chance to spend some time with him, I think it's important. Kid does a good job of getting us out to see those key guys and recruiting. So I went out there and spent the whole day with him. I got out there in the morning. I went to morning practice, went to morning meetings. We got on the board and talked ball, went to lunch with him, got to know him and talked to his family, brought him down on a visit, got a chance to spend mom and the siblings as well. So he's a guy that fits our program, fits our system, fits our city, right? Fits our university. So then you got the kid who transferred from Maryland. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. He's Baltimore Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and we get a chance to get him for 3 years. Continue to watch him develop. So we're really excited about the new pieces that we got coming in, and then to match him with the guys we already have. Tuck comes in. Tuck was out of football for a year because of injury. He can return punch, he can return kicks, he can play inside, outside. RJ is another guy that was at a place like a big, P4. He started at Kansas State, then went over to Bowling Green, had 27 catches. So now you're bringing these veteran guys that can come in and play a role right away and help us on special teams. Like, other than returning, our guys on the offense and receivers didn't do a great job helping with special teams. Being a former special team guy, that's big for us. You get those athletes that can run and jump and make plays and then help out on the special team in school. So we're really, really excited with the mesh that we have.
Questions?
Coach, you got a guy coming back also, I believe he just came in the room. Oh, there he is. Brandon Hoke at your X spot.
Yes.
Uptick in time towards the end of the year there. Can you just comment a little bit about on what you guys are looking for from him this year?
Well, sure. The sky's the limit, right? Like I said, he's taking that place that Dom had, right? So Dom struggled a little bit in the spring, had to get more physical, had to get tough. He was getting deep balls and wasn't really connecting with the quarterback, and then went through the summer, worked all through the summer with the quarterback, and then you saw what happened: 40 catches, 575 yards, 5 touchdowns, right? So we're expecting that same type, if not more, coming out of that X position this year with Brandon. Good young guy. You think about the high school that he went to, great high school here in South Florida, great coaching. He's here now with a great receiver coach, right? So, so between Chris, I, and Kagan, Kagan gives him all the information that he needs to know mentally, right? Chris and I give us the in and outs, and then, when you look at his body and his frame and what he can be. He can be a 6'3", 6'4", 220-pound guy playing receiver. He can know the inside, outside, help us on special teams. So for him, the sky's the limit, and it's really up to him. And during the recruiting process, the parents always ask, well, what's the graduation rate? Well, I can tell you this: your son's graduation rate is going to be 0 or 100. That's it. So for him, I'm telling you, he's going to be really, really good, but you're not going to play. So he knows what my expectations are for him. I think he understands it. He wants it. He's hungry for it. So I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
I'm sure he had his freshman moments last year, but at the same time, to my eye, it didn't seem like he was overwhelmed by the moment. So that seemed like a positive foundation to build off of, that he got some significant snaps last year.
Absolutely. So, when you go to the high school that he goes to and you travel all over the country to play those big time games, the lights don't bother you when you get to college, right? So that's a bonus for him that he has coming from the high school that he came through. And the other thing is like just the expectations. Like, hey, I'm going to put it on you. I remember him coming to me wanting to redshirt. I was like, no, you're not going to redshirt. You're going to play. You're going to get more time. And that's what happened. He got more time, got better, other than jumping for passes and all that. He really did a good job. Made a couple of big plays, explosive plays. And you led the nation in explosive plays, and he had 4 or 5 of them. So, the sky's the limit for him. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
From year 1 to year 2, how have you adjusted deploying the wide receivers, maybe some of the things you're attacking this spring? And what are you expecting from this group over the course of the spring?
So over the course of the spring, we're just going to get better. 1% better every day. If we do that for 15 days, we're 15% better as a group, right? So we give them a chart of what they're going to work on. So we sat down, we had them go over their goals and things that they want to get better at each day or throughout the spring. So as they go through the process, practice number 3, first day of pads, a little physical. DB's getting after you, right? So we're no longer dancing around in shorts and shirts. Now the pads are on, so now we got to take it to another level physicality-wise, or being more physical. So the expectation for our room is to get better. And then this is our second year in the system. I'm more knowledgeable. The players are more knowledgeable that are returning. And then it's so much better because we have so many guys in the room that know that can help the other. Because that peer-to-peer is really, really good. And then with me and Chris and Kagan all working together, knowing the offense a little better, knowing what we're trying to do, getting to know Kit and how he likes things done. So, and that's big because Kit knows exactly what it's supposed to look like. I've been around a lot of great coordinators, and they know what they're like artists, right? They know exactly how it's supposed to look, and it's tough for us to really get it. So as time goes on, I learn more of how he wants it, and it makes it easier for me to coach the kids.
Coach, you got a guy that's been nursing, it looks like a little something. Easton, your leading returner. Do you guys expect him back anytime soon in the lineup when the pads come on?
Well, we know what he can do, so we're not going to rush him back, right? It's a blessing and a curse. The curse is he's going to miss some time, but we know what he can do. The blessing is all these other guys that got to fill in. This next man up. I tell my kids all the time, I got my first college catch at Stanford at the University of Washington because Joe Crowley got hurt, ran off to the sideline, and no one saw it. I ran in there, they called the option play, I made my first catch, never left the field, right? So next man up for those guys who are in the background. And for Easton, he's going to get healthy. We're going to make sure he's fully healthy because that guy he's a game changer. He's a difference maker in our program. So we're not going to rush him back. My son lost his senior year in high school because he kept trying to rush back. Hey, whatever the trainers say, we're going to do exactly what the trainers say. We're going to take the time. He's getting mental reps. He's helping the young guys out there on the field. So, I don't expect anything. He's such a good worker. He knows exactly what he needs to do, and he'll be fine.
With Antoine Woody, do you see similarities with the ball in his hands to what Asad Wasim did last year?
So he has more speed and more suddenness than Asad. Asad is more savviness, but that guy can go. He's more physical. He's a more physical specimen than Asad. Asad had just a great feel for the game, could find things. This guy's more of a sudden, fast, quick guy. But that's the spot he's filling. Exactly right. So he's going to be that 4th, 5th guy that comes in off the bench ready to go. He can help us in the return game. He can help us handle the ball off some short throws and making plays. So we're excited about him.
Speaking of the return game, and I know Coach Scoop probably addressed this the other day, but you guys were so close last year on a couple of kickoff returns and punt returns.
Right.
Is it just that one extra strain out of 1 of 11 that can bust those?
Right. So the 111, right? So yeah. So now we'll be even better on special teams because the second year for those guys being the system in the school and what school has going, and then our guys will be better. I think our kickoff return will be even better. Platt did a great job, but now we got guys back there that we feel can actually take it the distance. To take that extra move, make a guy miss, or that burst to accelerate through to take it the distance. Platt did a good job, averaged 25 yards kick return, but I think now we can be in that 30, 32 range with the guys that we got back there. And then we got Easton back as a punt returner, and then, Tucker's backup, Woody's his backup, so, you know, if something should happen, we got guys with depth. But, you know, now being in the system for the second year, understanding the blocks, understanding the scheme, what we got going on, I believe the sky's the limit. We was 1 and 2 in the conference in both of those last year. So now we're trying to be in the top 10 in the nation.
Earlier, you talked about deploying and building this wide receiver room as like a basketball team. With
Yes.
different guys that can do different things. When it comes to this year's team compared to last year's team, what do you think this room's going to be able to do that maybe isn't necessarily better, but maybe is different, and allows the offense to maybe take another step forward?
Well, really, I'm going to say this, and I say this with all due respect. I think we'll be a lot better at some of the other positions, like at the tight end position, at the running back position. Like we have 40 catches from a running back. We got some guys now, when they catch those balls, that they can take it the distance. Like our goal is to pass for 6,000 yards. Like we talk about that all the time. Like so, we passed for over 4,000 last year, which broke the record from 2019. So now our goal is to try to pass what Kit did at Western Kentucky, which was 6,000 yards. Well, if he can do it there, why can't we do it here? So that's our goal. And with the addition of the tight ends that we have now, that really can get it done, now it takes the pressure off just the receiver room to get it done. So running backs that can catch and go, tight ends that can get mismatched against linebackers, and then with the guys that we got coming back and the guys that we added, like our goal is 6,000 yards. We talk about that. Like that is not just something we put up there. We talk about that and we say, okay, how many of those yards are you going to get? How many of those yards are you going to get? And that's our goal. And that's what we're trying to get towards. And you're going to see with the guys that we got coming back and the new guys we got added in, and a second year in the system, the quarterback knowing it, right? Understanding the system, knowing where the checks are, having Easton there for another year, bringing in Woody, having Dom. It's just, having a young guy coming in like Hope, who wasn't really sure what was going on, he was just out there playing. Now he really understands it. So it's just, the sky's the limit.